The Golden State Warriors find themselves at a crossroads this offseason, and the situation surrounding Jonathan Kuminga could force them to explore creative alternatives to address their frontcourt needs. While the organization continues negotiations with their restricted free agent forward, the possibility of moving on from Kuminga remains very real, which would create an immediate void in their rotation that needs filling. Enter Sam Hauser, the Boston Celtics, a player who represents everything the Warriors value in today's NBA: elite shooting, playoff experience, and the ability to contribute meaningfully within a championship framework. The 27-year-old forward has quietly established himself as one of the league's most reliable three-point specialists, and circumstances in Boston may make him available at exactly the right time for Golden State. Hauser's trajectory with the Celtics tells the story of a player who maximizes opportunities and carved out a significant role on a championship-caliber team. Over 4 seasons in Boston, he evolved from an undrafted long shot into a rotation regular, averaging 21.7 minutes per game last season while contributing 8.5 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 0.9 assists. Those numbers tell only part of the story. His real value lies in his exceptional shooting ability. The 6 feet 7 inches forward connected on 41.6% of his three-point attempts last season on substantial volume, bringing his career mark to an impressive 42%. This isn't just good shooting. It's elite-level marksmanship that transforms offensive possessions and creates spacing that benefits every player on the court. For a Warriors team that has built its identity around perimeter shooting and ball movement, Hauser represents exactly the kind of complementary piece that can elevate their system. What makes Hauser particularly attractive as a potential target is his understanding of his role and his proven ability to perform at the highest level. Unlike Kuminga, who has struggled to find consistency within Golden State's system, partly due to his developing perimeter shot, Hauser brings immediate plug-and-play value. There will be no adjustment period, no questions about fit, just reliable production from a player who knows exactly what he brings to the table. The financial aspect of a potential Hauser acquisition makes even more sense when you consider the Warriors' salary cap situation. The forward is entering the first year of a 4-year, $45 million contract that represents exceptional value for his production level. By the end of his deal in 2028 to 29, his salary will represent just 6% of the salary cap, a bargain for a specialist who can contribute to championship-level basketball. This contract structure is particularly appealing for Golden State, which has been operating well into luxury tax territory and needs to be strategic about every dollar spent. Hauser's deal provides cost certainty while delivering proven production, exactly the kind of investment that makes sense for a team trying to maximize its remaining championship window with Stephen Curry. The circumstances in Boston that could make Hauser available are particularly intriguing. According to reporting from Chris Mannix, the Celtics are looking to avoid luxury tax penalties next season, and trading Hauser represents the easiest path to achieve that financial flexibility. As Mannix noted, Hauser is a very tradable guy whose combination of shooting ability and championship experience makes him attractive to contending teams. The reported devastating Achilles injury to Jason Tatum during last year's playoffs has apparently shifted Boston's timeline and priorities. If the Celtics are indeed preparing for a down year, while Tatum recovers, moving pieces like Hauser to avoid luxury tax penalties while accumulating assets for the future would make strategic sense. For the Warriors, this potential availability couldn't come at a better time. If they do decide to move on from Kuminga, whether due to contract demands, fit concerns, or simply to acquire a different type of player, Hauser represents an ideal replacement in many ways. He addresses one of the primary concerns about Kuminga's role within their system: the lack of consistent perimeter shooting. Kuminga's development has been inconsistent partly because his shooting hasn't reached the level necessary to be a reliable spacer in Golden State's motion offense. This limitation has made it difficult for the Warriors to fully integrate him into their championship-level rotations, particularly in playoff scenarios where every possession becomes magnified. Hauser would face no such integration challenges. His shooting ability would immediately open up driving lanes for Curry and create better looks for everyone else on the court. His experience playing meaningful minutes for a championship team means he understands the intensity and precision required in playoff basketball, something that could prove invaluable for the Warriors as they try to make another championship run. The contrast in playing styles between Kuminga and Hauser also highlights different philosophical approaches to roster construction. Kuminga represents potential and upside, the hope that his athleticism and raw talent will eventually coalesce into impactful basketball. Hauser represents known quantities and proven production, the confidence that comes with established skills and championship experience. For a Warriors team operating with championship urgency, the appeal of known production over potential development is obvious. Every season becomes more precious as Curry ages, and the luxury of developing young talent becomes harder to justify when immediate impact is available. The defensive considerations also favor Hauser in some respects. While Kuminga possesses superior athletic tools, Hauser has proven capable of holding his own within Boston's championship-level defensive schemes. His basketball IQ and positioning help compensate for any athletic limitations, and his ability to stay disciplined within team concepts makes him a reliable option in crucial moments. From a chemistry standpoint, Hauser's personality and approach align well with the Warriors' culture. His willingness to accept a defined role and excel within it mirrors the selfless approach that has defined Golden State's championship runs. There would be no questions about touches, usage rate, or developmental minutes. Just a player focused on helping the team win in whatever capacity necessary. The potential trade mechanics for acquiring Hauser would likely be straightforward. His reasonable contract makes salary matching relatively simple, and Boston's motivation to move him for tax purposes means they might not demand premium assets in return. This could allow the Warriors to add a valuable rotation piece while significantly depleting their depth or future assets. The timing of such a move would also align well with the Warriors' championship timeline. Rather than continuing to invest in Kuminga's development with no guarantee of return, they could pivot to a player who can contribute immediately and help maximize their remaining years with Curry at an elite level. However, any move away from Kuminga would represent a significant philosophical shift for the Warriors front office. The organization has invested considerable time and resources in his development, and trading him would mean acknowledging that their player development system couldn't unlock his potential. This admission might be difficult for an organization that prides itself on maximizing talent. The broader implications for both organizations would be significant. For Boston, trading Hauser would provide immediate financial relief while potentially opening more minutes for younger players during what might be a transitional season. For Golden State, adding Hauser would signal a clear commitment to maximizing their current championship window rather than building for the future. The decision ultimately comes down to how the Warriors view their championship timeline and their confidence in Kuminga's development trajectory. If they believe they have a narrow window to compete for titles, the proven production that Hauser offers might be more valuable than the potential upside that Kuminga represents. As the situation continues to develop throughout the offseason, both the Kuminga contract negotiations and Hauser's availability will be stories worth monitoring. The intersection of these two situations could ultimately reshape both franchises' approaches to the upcoming season and beyond. What are your thoughts on this potential scenario? Would the Warriors be wise to pivot from Kuminga's potential to Hauser's proven production? Share your perspective on how this move might impact both teams' championship aspirations.